and maybe you're in a season of aggressive growth for your company. Going away for vacation doesn't seem like a really useful use of your time.
What is that word you just mentioned?
Oh, I thought you put one on the calendar. Oh, wait. Oh, you're going to play. You're going back to playing the other side now?
Well, I went back to the time when I remember in that aggressive growth mode where it was 12 years before I did do that word that you said.
I remember years ago, my husband and I had started an MLM. That's actually how we met. We met in a multi-level marketing company. And one of the things they really discouraged were some of these big life change things, because it would distract you from growing your business. So moving, taking on, I don't know. There was like a handful of different things, but things that could distract you from your business could halt. Like, especially when you kind of just get some momentum, you got some things in place. If you leave, like, all of that will stop, and chaos could end up what you come back to. And so,
sure.
And so if a vacation right now isn't in the cards, you still need to have some preservation of personal care, of health and well-being. And so you can't just be all work and no play. There's got to be a little bit of work-life balance built in here.
Absolutely.
And by balance, I don't mean equal, but just a little time for you, your family, things you love to do, health and wellness, and all of that. So here's some tips. So if you're not going on vacation, but you can still get a necessary break, especially in those aggressive growth days. And the first one is watch your attitude.
Watch your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
I think that should be first on everybody's list.
Yeah, no matter what.
Right?
No matter what's going on, first thing in the morning, watch your attitude. As you get in the car to start dealing with traffic, watch your attitude. Once you get to work, watch your attitude. All of that. She says, you have to think of your startup as a newborn baby. And in the early stages, you'll have to work twice as hard to get the momentum building. She says it's just kind of like taking care of a newborn.
Absolutely.
But that early sweat equity will end up creating that legacy and that lifestyle that you're looking for. So we just had a conversation about, what do you do when you don't feel like doing it? I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to grow my business. I don't want to eat healthy, right? I don't want to do the things I need to do, but I know I have to. It's looking at the pleasure. What's in it later? Can we actually put a prize down the road? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to hit these milestones. These are the things we're going to do in our business. And when we hit those, then I get an afternoon of golf. I get to go and have a pamper day. I get to take the kids to the amusement park. Like, what is that thing that maybe it's not a full-fledged vacation, but it's a prize to remind you that what you're working for matters?
Absolutely. And right along in that same line of thought, scheduling that time off, using maybe we talk a lot about every quarter you get a bonus week.
You
right?
do.
That 13th week.
That 13th week is bonus.
Baker's dozen. And so treating it as such, if you give 4 weeks to every month, and that fifth week that happens once a quarter, go do something different. Schedule some things that are different. You don't have to go away for the whole week, but you could, right? Maybe just work on things that are not part of your normal routine.
You take a Thursday, Friday, and the following Monday, Tuesday. And so it's just a couple days in the last week and a couple days in the next week. And you really have quite a few days in there that you could get away and celebrate, recharge, refresh, and just enjoy the fruits of your labor. But if you don't schedule it, the calendar will never clear up. It'll never just, miraculously have a week free and you enough time to book that Mexico trip, right? It doesn't happen that way. Schedule your success. And so part of your success is these milestones, are these breaks.
That's exactly right. Now, keep in mind that as you are ramping up, we're talking about newborn baby for analogy. How about this one? Instead of newborn baby, you're like an aircraft taking off, right?
I like that better.
Yeah, right. for a lot of reasons. But you spend a lot of energy, you spend a lot of gas getting up to altitude. When you're doing that, and there is a time and a place for that, make sure that your communication, because you're not the only one affected by your schedule. Your communication needs to be solid with the people that are counting on you maybe your husband or your wife or your kids or your significant other, whatever. Communicate well.
Yeah, I remember, very early on when I wasn't at home, I felt guilty. I had that mom guilt, thinking I should be at home because my family's got all that stuff, right? And when I was at home, I'd feel guilty that I should be at work because there's so much that has to get done there. By communicating and having these, kind of blocked out times that when I'm with my family, I'm not checking my email, I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not texting, I'm not going over reports, I'm truly with my family. And when I'm at work, I'm truly at work. I'm not, texting and calling at home and checking in on all them and FaceTiming them at home. They're good, right? Set them up for success, set myself up for success. And if you can communicate what's really going on, then they don't feel left behind or left out of the reason why you're spending so much time at work.
Right. Very, very important to communicate well. And then finally, make sure you establish boundaries. And keep that. If you want your work-life balance, you got to figure out what that looks like to you, and then and set it up. Communicate that to everybody involved.
Right. If you have an appointment on your calendar to have some family time or to volunteer at your child's school, block that out, and that's an appointment that you have, and reserve that. And vice versa, when you're meeting with a client, hold that in balance. Don't feel like you have to respond to emails at 10 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock in the morning. I sometimes have to have this little fight with myself. Okay, I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at it. No, because what ends up happening is now I'm sucked in for a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour in the work and the response and the activity that comes from that behavior. And you think, okay, I've got 5 minutes at home and I can just check on this really quick. Well, the checking on it's quick, but the action required and now the mental energy that is consumed, especially for me, because it's something that's undone. And until it's done, I can't stop focusing on it. And so don't do that. Don't do that to your family. A lot of times you'll be tempted to stay late. One of my favorite excuses for leaving the office is when we work out at Orange Theory, they have class workout times.
Right.
Schedule a workout for after work so that it forces you to leave the office. There will always be more to do. You go to the gym, your brain clears out, all the stuff you were focused on and stressed out about goes because you've just left it all on the gym floor, and then go home and be with your family. Thanks so much to Deborah Maldonado for her thoughts on this topic. Folks, if you'd like more information about who we are and how we can help you, go check out experiencepros.com. Click on the radio tab. You can find all the archives of this broadcast and everything that we do. It's our privilege to serve you with nothing but the best in business. We'll be back after this.
The Experience Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.
I'm Tom